you know, we grow closer as a family because of it. Just the kids, you know, as the little bit of pitching in that they can possibly do, anything that they do is appreciated, and you know, I just value just how much they're flexible. Because sometimes, you know, you make promises and you hope to do some things, and then you end up not being able to keep it because of other obligations, and people just kind of, you know, everyone just understanding, hey, you know, I know we got to roll with the punches. And when they do that, when the children look at me and say, Dad, I know you promised this and we didn't get to do it, but, you know, no one says, I hate you, you don't, you know, you get some kids that are that way. Like, if you said something that you somehow didn't get to follow through on it, forget it, they're not talking to you for a month or whatever. But our kids, they've never done that to me or to Catherine, and they understand, they get the situation, they get what's going on. Not just with Rachel, but just when you have, because of everything that's happening here, you know, you got to work an extra job, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. And they just kind of say, yeah, okay, I get it. You know, all right, what can I do? And that's been tremendous for me. We kind of give them a heads up and say, here, you know, this is what we're doing today. Like, if Catherine knows, for example, that, hey, I'm going to Boston and I'll be back at this time, I need, you know, to take Simeon to the daycare. When you guys get home from school, you know, don't let anyone in, blah, 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 things like that. And they get it, and they go, yes, all right. So if there's any adjustments, you know, we kind of go over the plan with them. We tell them what the deal is, and, you know, they try to follow through as best they can. We also let them know that, you know, in the big picture, you know, this is going to be a tough road. You know, be ready for that. Understand that, you know, we don't know how long we'll have to do the medical thing, you know, with Rachel. We don't know how many times we'll have to go out to Boston Children's or to Bay State or whatever it might be, you know, but in the day that we have to do it, right now, you know, we're just gonna, we have to come together, and they understand we have to bond together and be in one accord on that, and they follow through. They're really good about it for the most part, you know. Yeah, I mean, do we have our days where, man, you know, why is the house an aberration? You know, come on, let's pitch in, let's clean up or whatever, you know. And they, once you snap and, you know, you tell them, okay, let's get together and let's make this happen, they all do it, and they pitch in, and there's really not much fight, you know, or back talk or anything like that. So they're really good.
I talked to the children about Rachel's prognosis by just being honest with them. I try to gather what their understanding is first, and then go from there. You know, some social workers or some doctors.
Like Melanie.
Yeah.
Has helped, you know, because people that have come along and gone through it and have had kids, you know, with not only with special needs, but also other kids going through it with them, you know, have shared, you know, how they've done it, you know, so you kind of take lessons from that. And at the end of the day, you know, you're going to tailor it your way. And, you know, like Catherine said, we just try to say, all right, well, sit down, folks, you know, and let's talk. And here's what's happening. Here's what's going on. Here's what we can expect, you know. And we do that, kind of making it, you know, like a family meeting type thing. And we don't, it seems like after that, we don't really dwell on it after that. Like, this is out there, just so you understand, but we're not going to focus on, you know, oh, and like how long we have with it. We have today. We know we have now, you know, so we try to encourage them to make the best of today, you know.
I think the palliative care nurse has been tremendous. She always tells me, you'll know when the end is coming. And I don't think we're there, so that's how we're living, you know, just today's a great day.
Do you ever worry about the impact of this more stressful, demanding situation because of Rachel's condition, the impact that has on your other children?
Sometimes. Sometimes we do worry about that. And I guess, when you listen to your two oldest, talk about some of those things, it's eye-opening. You hear some of the thoughts and how they understand it. Some things you're like, wow, right on. That's solid. Some other things you go, I didn't know you thought that way. So you see the change in them, and you see both good things and some not so good things, and you learn and you address it and say, you pull them aside and say, all right, I see how this is. I think this is how this has been affecting you. Let me know how close I am to the target here, and help me try to understand, why that's the case, or why you're thinking these things, what you really understand about what's going on. Maybe it's something you misunderstand, and because you misunderstand it, that's leading you to think all these other, I don't want to say necessarily wrong things, but, maybe less productive things at times. Or you have certain behaviors, maybe not even just the thoughts, but behaviors. Like I think Alex mentioned something about, roughing his siblings around a little bit, and I never really thought that it was Rachel's condition or if that was an influence on that. I just figured he's oldest and he's just kind of, like kind of firstborn stuff. But then you hear that, hey, it's kind of affected me, and sometimes I take it out in this way, and I go, oh. It's eye-opening. So you learn that, and you sit them down and say, all right, let's talk through it and see how we can adjust.
I think it definitely affects the older ones more so. Like he said, and each child is different. You realize that you need to spend some more time with another child. Mm-hmm. You might need to talk to another child. I like to observe them too, and I just see, like, Simeon is home, so he spends the most time with Rachel. And when she's getting her therapy and she's crying, he'll tell her, "Stop that! Come on now, you can do it." At 3, he used an encourager and her cheerleader. And then I've got my second son Joshua, and he's writing her a little note on Valentine's Day. I love you. This is from your big brother to my sweet little sister. And just recognizing that he's like, oh yeah, let's not forget about her, and then there's my Abby, who she thinks she's her little doll, Rachel, so she's decorating her hair, headbands and clips, and I'm like, oh, you're trying to make Rachel beautiful, and she just gave me this strange look like, Mommy, she's already beautiful. And I thought, I stand corrected. I was thrilled that she saw her that way, so I think the power of observation is sometimes you don't have to push it with kids. They'll let you know what they're feeling and thinking, and if you're paying attention, you'll pick up. So.